Well, y'all, here we go again. It's another day. Actually, it's just about Halloween. That would be October, the last of October in 2023. Wow, another month is gone. A couple of things I've been working on here lately that haven't even, made you aware of is there were some electrical challenges on the bus and a vacuum challenge on the bus. The electrical challenge was in the tachometer. And I'll show you how I traced that down and how I fixed it. And the second thing was the boost gauge, or the vacuum gauge, whichever you want to call it. Actually, it's boost on a diesel. They don't really have vacuum. So again, I'll show you how I traced that down, found out what happened to the boost gauge, and we'll show you that now, because this is the Brian's Bus Adventure. Okay, y'all, here's the dash. The dash on it, it's something that somebody had put together on a prior life for somebody else that owned the bus at the time. And again, the three gauges that still are not working correctly is the pyrometer, and that is the exhaust gas temperature, the manifold pressure, which is the boost, the same thing we were talking about before, and then before the tachometer was not working. Oops, there you go, tachometer is up here. Sorry about that. And I have gotten the tachometer fixed, and that was a big milestone for me. I didn't know if I could or not. I didn't know if it was the gauge or if it was the sending unit or what. So I called ISPRO out of Portland, Oregon, and the guy there walked me through everything, and Don's the guy's name, the technician there, and it really helped, and I got it working. So what I had to do was pull this portion of the dash out, of course, to kind of check it out. And looking back inside here, I found out there was a couple of wires. Again, this is the tach right here. But there was a couple of wires that were disconnected on the back of the tach. So you can see I came in here and I rewired the tachometer. That's the little pigtail thing, the white thing down there was what was messed up. And there was a couple of wires that were broken on that. And so after doing that and adjusting the magnet in the back, and I'll show you again what that is, we got that tach to be working. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going after, is the manifold pressure, and again the boost gauge. And I see that there is a solid line that's going, come on, get in there, focus. A solid line, a vacuum hose, a tube that goes all the way from the back of the bus to the front of the bus. And that's what allows the bus to identify the vacuum and pull it up on this gauge. And again, I'll show you out in the back of the bus exactly what I had to do to fix that. Okay, now coming to the back of the bus, back here to the one of the pulleys. This right here, this little thing right here has a magnet on it, and the one opposite has a magnet on it. And this is the receiving unit, or the unit that counts the revolutions as the tach, or as the motor turns around. And what I found out was, again, there was another broken wire on this when I took it back out, and I rewired that, which made it work. And also, you have to have about an eighth to a quarter of an inch gap, air gap, between this and this. And as soon as I took that out, readjusted it, went back up to the front of the bus, and lo and behold, the tach worked perfectly. And again, thank you for Don out at ISPRO out in Portland for helping me with that. Next thing I wanted to look at was the boost gauge. And this is the boost coming out of the back of the turbo, or of the supercharger, and going into the turbo, whatever. And I thought, well, what is going on with that? So it was under this wire loom right here, which was, let me see if I back up here a little bit for you, which kind of wrapped around everywhere and came back up to this position and covered all that covered it all the way up to the fitting up there. So I took the fitting loose up there, put a vacuum gauge on it, and got zero vacuum. It would not hold a vacuum. So then what I wanted to do, or I did, was I followed it down, took it apart, followed it down, and lo and behold, look at this. Completely melted because it was on top of the water. And this is a water line right here that goes down to the thermostats and etc. Completely melted that, and look at that huge hole right there in it. Huge hole right there. And then I peeled it back again a little bit more and found that white hose that goes clear to the front of the bus. Now I'm going to have to pull a vacuum on that next and find out if there's a second hole in that puppy somewhere, which it could be because it's sitting up there on top of the water pump, and that could have melted it all also. But what I want to do, I want to come out here and get out here to the back, pull this apart, or pull this out, I should say, get to the radiator, and this radiator swings out. It's on a pivot from here, and it'll swing out this direction. So I want to pull that out and be able to get back into that. Well, there's several things back in there that I'd like to get to in the back of that motor, and the wiring that's back there, just to make sure everything else is in place. And also that vacuum line, I want to replace some water hoses, radiator hoses that are back there, and you need to get inside that to do that. And then the next thing I'm going to do after that is pull the bottom exhaust manifold off, because right in the front of it, right up there, there's a crack in it. And I do have another one I got from Luke. So I'm going to pull the exhaust pipes off, the ones I've started to clean up, and I'm going to wrap them. I'm going to wrap them so that the heat stays inside the pipe and does not go out and start frying things again. And I'll come back over here to the turbo, wrap that pipe coming down, wrap it down to the muffler, and maybe even if I have enough, I might even wrap the muffler on this to get the heat out this tailpipe instead of out into the engine compartment. So just a few things that I'm doing, and again, hello out there. There's a few things that I'm doing there, and I hope that you guys really enjoy what I'm doing, because this is the Brian's Bus Adventure. And again, if you like it, please get onto it and do the like button, do the share button, subscribe to it, please. And if you really would like to help, you can go ahead and get onto patreon.com/Brian's Bus Adventure and possibly, help us there also. This whole thing is not really done without your help. So again, the process will take years if we can't get some help out of this thing. And if that's what it is, that's what it is. But we'd love to share everything with people out there, and just keep going on the repairs on this old 4108 Alpha bus, and that's called a Buffalo. And if you ever wonder what the 4108 means, the 41 means it was a 41 passenger bus. Pretty simple there. So if you see like a 4107 or a 4106, 4104, remember that all of those meant that they had 41 seats in them and they could do 41 passengers. But again, this is the Brian's Bus Adventure. I hope you're enjoying it, because we're enjoying doing it. Just a lot of work to do. Y'all have a good day, and bye.